What is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. New month, June 1st, and we're live. And if you are new to the show, first time here, you can text the letters, text the letters WUL to 813-296-8553. You'll get a short little text message reminder every time that we go live. It'll pull open on your phone. It'll say, hey, here's a little show intro, whatever. We write up a little blurb. And then there's a link you can dive right into the live, super easy. So if you would like some merch, okay, I've got all sorts of merch around me. If you want some merch, okay, I got a whole wardrobe just sitting right next to me here. You can go to belegendary.shop. I got people asking me all the time or emailing me, where can we get it? belegendary.shop. Hats, shirts, hoodies, sweatpants, you name it. So every single Monday through Friday for the past, I don't even know. We started doing this around 2020, early 2020 or something like that. We go live with a guest, and it's unrehearsed, unscripted. We don't even give them questions that we're going to ask. We don't even know where it's going to go, honestly. And we just unpack a little bit about their story, their journey. When we were at our last mastermind, Dave said something. He said, people don't need more training. They need to hear more stories. And it's really true. And it's been throughout my journey. I know that sounds, I've had days where had I heard that, I'd be like, you know what, dude, shut up. But the truth is I've had a lot of points in my journey where I was able to push through and figure things out. And it was because I was inspired. And it was because I had the right people and the right stories around me that inspired me and helped me believe. And so that's part of why we've taken this approach on this show. And so we're going to bring on our guest for today. I think he's from Atlanta, but now residing in Florida. Is that right, Mike?
That is correct. I am in South Florida. I grew up in Atlanta, so I made the trip back here, back
Sweet.
to the perfect weather.
Nice. Cool. Well, thanks for coming on. You are in our community. Tell us a little bit about the early days of getting started online. For those of you who don't know, we give a little questionnaire that we have people submit, and you were talking about how you kind of started in drop shipping, but dude, you go way back. So tell us a little bit about your journey online, and you've been in this about the same amount of time that I have, which is pretty rare. Most people are out of here by now. Tell us a little bit about your journey online and how you got started.
Well, online, around the late 2000s, before like around 2008, 2009-ish, I actually got into drop shipping. And so I was it was before the whole craze.
Dude, I didn't even know drop shipping was a thing then.
Listen. I was an eBay hound from when I was a teenager.
Okay.
And I would always wonder how these people would get all these different things and post it on there. I've been wanting to make money since I was like 13, 14 years old. So
hey, me too. I took my parents' debit card and would buy wholesale calculators and resell them on eBay for like a small profit.
Exactly.
Same thing.
So I came across it. I knew where to start getting the suppliers. I looked at all the different suppliers in the Asian market, and the biggest opportunity that came around was the whole P90X craze. And I saw that I can get P90X DVDs and wholesale, super cheap, and they were going, they were going up at that time for upwards of $100 for a whole set, and I was getting them for maybe like $20 per set. And so the market was crazy, and that's what I started doing, and I was making a killing. And it led from doing the P90X to start doing the the iPhone cords. Like,
Mm.
the iPhone was gaining traction at that time,
Yep.
and so all the little accessories associated with the phone
Yeah.
were picking up steam. And so I just started sourcing those things out over like on Alibaba, and buying in bulk, listing them on eBay. eBay was the place to do it.
Yep.
And that was going really well. And then, of course, eBay started to tighten the restrictions a little bit. It's always a battle.
Yeah.
It's always a battle with them. But then, I switched out products. I switched out to a really nice product, which was a women's hair flattening iron.
Okay.
Oh gosh, oh man, and those things were selling. Oh, those are the good days. Those things were selling, and so that's how I got my start. It slowly started to decline because more people got associated or got into the whole drop shipping game, and
Okay.
so eBay, Amazon, they started to tighten up their restrictions, and
Hmm.
it got to the point where I didn't want to be left holding the bag, buying a bunch of supply from overseas and not being able to offload it.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I casually just moved out of there. But I was doing all of it. I was doing the arbitrage, Walmart, Wayfair, those types of things, buying it from there, marketing up on Amazon, selling it directly from them. All of it. I've been doing this. I've been doing this for a while.
Yep.
So that's how I got my start, at least
Wow.
online, and started making money online, was through the e-com drop shipping
Huh.
area.
Wow, cool. No, that's super cool. Man, I've been around a while and didn't even really honestly realize well, I guess I knew the eBay craze because I was a little bit in it, but man, that's pretty wild. So take us from the beginning there, let's say late 2000, like 2009, 10, 11. um, to how did you get to where you're at now? I mean, have you been working a job? Have you always been full time online? Have you always been just making a living online? Like, what's your life been like, and how did you end up sort of in legendary circle? How'd you find us?
Okay, well, to bring it back, I am prime military. I was in the Marine Corps Reserves, and so that's why I was able to do all of these things in between time, because I wasn't active. So I still
Wow.
had a life out in the civilian world as well.
Mm,
Um, so after the drop shipping type phase, I did jump into MLM around the 2012 timeframe as well.
okay.
And it was with Dave's previous company. And
Okay. Yeah.
so that's where I got to learn the basic skills of, what is actually taught in Legendary, when it comes to blogging, SEO related, all those types of things. So I
Yep.
got to get a taste, a little bit of my foundation from there.
Okay.
And then in 2014, uh, I was I got a job in Afghanistan as a private contractor, and so I just jumped on that and I went ahead and did that, because it was either that, or maybe go back to school to relearn some things, get my education up. But I decided to go to Afghanistan, and it was there when I decided, like, all right, I need to get back to the online game. Like this, I can't deal with this right here, because while it paid well, like the money was good at being out there, but man, it took maybe about the third rocket attack that we had out there for me to realize, like, I think I need to go find something else to do.
Yeah.
So
Like,
yeah,
this is not my thing.
it's crazy. It's crazy out there. So salute to anybody that's been out there. They understand
Yeah.
what goes down. But it was really there. I need to make a change. I mean, I'm out there in the desert, and you're risking your life day in, day out. You know,
Mm.
and so you don't know what's promised for the next day. So it's just like, all right, let me jump on my computer, and I said I got to find something else to do. And so that's when I went ahead and I started looking up other, make money online type of stuff, because
Yeah.
It was a little weird. There was a lot of things going on at that time period with like MLMs coming and going and all these different opportunities. So you just didn't know which one was going to be the best one to jump into. And
Yeah,
so,
and for everybody who's listening, what he means by that is these companies would basically open up, do a big pre-launch, and get a bunch of people to join this MLM, and then you'd wake up one day and like literally the office was closed. You're calling support, and you're like, we filed for bankruptcy. Sorry. And you're like, how do I get my money back? And they're like, you don't. And the phone call ends. That's basically, and that was common. Dave tells a story about how he got into this like cell phone MLM plan in 2013 or 12 or 11 or something way back in the day. And before he could even, I think he only sold his dad on it. And before his dad could even get the phone, they went out of business. He didn't even get the phone, something like that. I might be butchered that, but you know what I mean? That's kind of and people have gone through that a lot. And
it was running rampant during the mid 20 teens. Like that's what was going on. So you just weren't sure. You didn't want to jump on an opportunity that wasn't going to be there next month.
But you also didn't want to miss the opportunity either.
Exactly.
So you could be the first one in.
It was definitely the wild, wild west in the online space. So I finally I got out of Afghanistan, and while I was there, I was looking up different opportunities. Now this is all this is going to lead into Legendary, but I started doing local lead generation. Which I still do to this day, but it's more so of rank and rent. And so that's what I started doing. I started doing that, and that was going pretty well, actually. If you can rank a website, and local websites are much easier to rank, and if you can do that, you can obviously sell the benefits to a business owner. And so that's what I was doing, and I'm still doing that now in association with Legendary, but it was creeping up onto when the pandemic was starting to creep in. So around 2019 timeframe was when I could start seeing things changing. And I'd always loved the idea of affiliate marketing and all of that, but it was just like I got stuck in something that was making me money, and that's what I was doing. But I can read the tea leaves and see that things were about to change. And so it was in 2019 I actually came across Legendary. I saw like a ad or something on Facebook. It's Dave, and I was like, oh man. So Dave Sharpe is back in the game. And I was like, well, his training was always solid from back in the old days. And so I was like, okay, let me take a look and see what's going on. Because I was already kind of done with the MLM phase, because it was unreliable. Yeah. And so I saw that, and I started looking into really what it was about. And I was like, okay, this makes sense. This is something I can rock with. Yep. And the price point, of course, was the most attractive thing, because you pay the $7 and take the online business challenge, and man, the knowledge you get from that. Listen, like there's people out here charging thousands of dollars for the same information. Yeah, $7. You can if you only took that, you'd be off and running. And so that's how it was with me. And so I was hooked. I went ahead and I signed up. Took the business challenge, spoke with my advisor a few times. Boom, I was off and running. And so once I got into the ecosystem of Legendary, I said, okay, I can see now how I can start pivoting to do some more affiliate marketing related things, because dealing with just local businesses, I'm at the mercy of what happens to that business itself. And of course, you're also at the mercy of Google. So because it's the largest search engine around, and if you're always having to play around with things every time they decide to do an algorithm change. And so that's too much. I didn't want to leave all that the chance. There's too much control on giving away. So
Yep.
I needed to diversify.
Too
And
many,
that's
too
what
many, too
led
many
me to go
variables
in.
you can't control.
Exactly. That's the scariest part and the most, nerve wracking part of doing at least, local lead generation and things like that most of it really is out of your control. If Google can decide to just do an update and all of a sudden your different web properties are no longer on the first page, they're on page 3. And you're
Yep.
trying to figure out what it is you need to change, and nothing happens overnight with Google. So I was like, all right, let me put more focus into affiliate marketing, because that part of my business was good. And it was good that I did that because shortly after, that's when the pandemic actually happened. And, we know what happened with that with a lot of local businesses.
All right.
They weren't getting customers, so your services weren't as needed. And you just didn't know how long that was going to last. And so there was a temporary decline in that as well.
Yep.
And it was actually affiliate marketing I was able to make up everything and surpass it because everybody was home at the time.
Right. Right. No, I mean, the whole online space took a huge, huge leap and run at the beginning of that pandemic, and honestly hasn't really slowed down since, which is pretty
Mhm.
crazy.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
I even thought, okay, summertime's here, people are out of school, people are back traveling, but it hasn't really changed.
No, not at all. Honestly, I mean, there's no better time now than to, you know, learn affiliate marketing and just learn that part of the business. I mean, there's so many places you can go once you actually learn the skills to do it. You can just apply it to so many different things, and now is the best time to do it. There's so many people that are unsure of what's to come, and there are at the same time so many more opportunities being introduced, like with the whole crypto space and the web 3.0 and all the different things that come along with that. And
Right.
if you just tap into something that you are really interested in and learn it well, you can start, promoting those different products or services or those opportunities that come along.
Yep.
And so it's so much that's happening. And so I think right now is a great time. And I'm actually really appreciative that I did find Legendary when I did, because it got me, it brought the spark back of back in the earlier days of why I want to come online, and
Yeah.
why I think, working for yourself or at least learning the skill sets to do these things
Yep.
is so beneficial. And so, yeah.
And and I wanted to well, where I was thinking of going with that was exactly where you just took it, which was you said, building the skill sets. And when I just, you found us almost exactly 3 years ago. And, at that time, I mean, I hadn't even been working here that long. I was here, but I hadn't been working here that long. And, I think that there's something really powerful about how long you've been in the online space, because I think for context, a lot of times people who will tune into the show or tune into our training or come to the 15-day challenge or whatever, um, forget sometimes that life is a pretty long journey. And everything gets boiled into this like one moment, right? But when I think back to 2010, 2009, and I'm first discovering, when I first when I first heard about MLM, it was, I was watching this training, and you know how MLMs get this bad vibe about being a pyramid scheme, right? Well, this video was literally laying it out in the shape of a pyramid, and I was just like, and I was so, I mean, I was like 20 and I had no clue, but I was just sitting here and he's talking about perpetual leverage. And I'm like, oh my God, perpetual leverage. Yes. And I'm like, this is it. This is how I get rich. And so, anyway, I found a way to get a couple credit cards and get into this MLM travel club and all of this stuff. Right. And, um, long story short, I had this. Here's what I think is interesting about this dynamic. If you would have told me 10 years ago, as I'm getting started, hey, just build skills, right? Trust the process. Maybe 10 years down the road, it works out. I wouldn't have felt that inspired. But if you'd told me, hey, look, not only can you learn skills that'll be valuable for the next 10, 20, 30 years, where you can have autonomy and total freedom, but also you can kind of earn while you learn. As you're going and as you're figuring out these skills, you can earn a living. Like you can pay your bills, your rent, your mortgage, and maybe you don't become a millionaire in 5 years. Maybe you become a millionaire in 20. But as you do it, you also experience the freedom and autonomy of not answering to a boss every day, or going. My wife quit her mental health therapy practice to start her own business, and not going in and having management tell you, well, you're not, yeah, you're probably not going to get that promotion, and
Yeah.
it's just like, what? Excuse me, and never dealing with that again. But I feel like there's also this element of which it would be hard to summarize all of the different skills and things you've learned in 10 years, because you've put this into a career where you've taken all these bits and pieces, and I know how that goes because I did the same thing. And now you've got this valuable skill set that it's sort of like wearing a tool belt. Some people only have a hammer, some people only have a tape measure, and you've got it all. You've got all of these, not everything, but you've got a lot of different tools on that belt that you can pull out and reference, and history, and failed ads and successful ads, and all
Yes.
of that stuff where you've seen it, been there, you've got the actual lived experience, which I think is really cool. You've only been in our space for 3 years, only in our company, around our company for 3 years, but I think that from the time, and let's add more to this. You're a Blueprints member of ours as well, I believe, right?
Yes.
And in 2019, we didn't have, for instance, a module on Instagram, on Pinterest. We upgraded the business blueprints in 2020 from what they were before. We took the affiliate marketing business blueprint and gave it a full update. And we keep doing that. We're getting ready to update more of it. And I think that's an interesting sort of, isn't that kind of cool to have purchased something, and then you know that the guys and gals in our industry, usually when they do that, they're like, hey, you want to get 3.0? How's another extra $500?
Yep.
It's gonna cost
Always that one.
90.
Always be selling.
And
Always be
and
closing.
how many times since you came into our atmosphere in 2019 have we called you up and tried to sell you something for $20,000?
Never.
Yeah. You haven't, never, ever, because there isn't
Never.
anything else to sell. It's just lifetime updates forever, which for us, that's just how we operate. And I sometimes don't make a big enough deal about that, which is why I'm making a big deal now. And I'm doing a little braggy thing here, but it's almost I haven't heard of it, but it's unprecedented in this industry. And as you go, 5 years from now, we're still gonna, whatever. I don't know what's gonna come out in 5 years. Maybe some new TikTok, right, or something, some
Right.
new app that's hot. And guess what? There's going to be probably me or somebody in our community who's got this brand new training, and we won't have charged anybody for it as long as they've purchased our blueprints. It's crazy, but how's your experience been in Legendary with our community, with the training? And then also now, as you're starting to really see some traction and things are picking up for you a lot, thousands of followers, you're making money. How's that changed things?
Well, like when I first started, the goal wasn't to actually promote Legendary. I just found the training so valuable that I can apply it just out in the world, in the online world, and so that's where my focus was.
Cool.
But with the changes of everything going on, more people really need to have more options, and so I'd always had, different family members or friends just asking what I'm doing and how they can get involved. I just refer them to Legendary. And I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? Let me take this serious and actually, um, along with doing my regular affiliate marketing stuff, let me actually put a little more effort into promoting Legendary itself, because more people need to see the opportunity, because we don't know what's to come.
Mm.
And so the little effort I've started putting in, you get the traction, you start getting the leads, you get the people joining this, you get the sales, you start seeing it happening, and it's like, okay, all right, so people are starting to actually, see what it is that I'm saying, because it's not about, to me, it's not about getting rich overnight or getting all these fancy things. It's I really want to get better at the skill sets and show people that if they learn the skill sets, there's so many things that they can actually do with it online. Maybe they don't want to do affiliate marketing. That's fine. But
Yeah.
everything on that Legendary teaches, can be used for any field online. You're always going to need to learn how to market a product or sell a product, how to pick up traffic, all that good stuff, all the different techniques. And once you dive in past the 15-day training, then you go into the blueprints like I did. I went through the affiliate marketing blueprint, both versions of them,
Wow.
and yeah, they're awesome. They're awesome. I always go back because I'm always learning something new, and I'm always going back and taking notes and all that good stuff. But you never know everything, and so the skills that I have acquired personally, I'm able to apply it to my rank and rent business as well, or to all the other affiliate products or products that I am promoting to make affiliate commissions and things like that as well. And I just want to, have decided, I just said, you know what, let me show other people what it is I am talking about, what I am doing. Because I've been in the shadows just doing my own thing, because I don't care about being in everybody's face, So but now I was like, well, let me show people what it is I'm talking about. I have enough people wondering what it is, how I'm making my money. They realize I don't work a 9 to 5. I
Mm.
haven't worked a 9 to 5 for a very long time. And
Mm.
so this is what I do. This is the reason I did it. Not because it's going to make you rich overnight. It's because you're going to learn skill sets that could possibly make you rich, depending on what you do with it.
Right.
But the skills, you got to learn how to do these things. And it's not expensive. What is it? $7. $7. Get on the online business builder challenge. You
Right.
you want you want a better hack? Go ahead and get the $1 TikTok training course.
Sure.
You get the online business training
Right.
for $1 versus $7. I mean, it's so many opportunities in here at any price point.
Totally.
So if you don't take advantage of it, it's because you're not serious, or your mind is somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
And for somebody I just feel like for somebody who is newer and has never delved into something like this before, I really feel like for $7 to actually dive into some sort of training like this, what a cool thing! Like, what a cool thing to be able to dive into some sort of like a course or a training about how to make money on the internet. It's such a risk-free. Dave says, I think what Dave says in the video, he says something like, for less than a pair of Wrangler jeans at Walmart, you can get started or whatever. But I feel like if I'm thinking about it and I'm like this normal person, just anybody out in the world, like what a cool thing to be able to just lay down $7, which for a lot of us we do for much less, like just stupid stuff, right? I mean, a venti frappuccino at Starbucks, you're gonna chalk up $7 basically. But
yeah.
I just feel like what a fun experience to be able to go in and start to really unpack this world. And even through day 3, on day 3 you get a bunch of pre-built funnels for you that are already ready to go. If you want to sell your own digital course, here's one that you could use. But I also think that your strategy of coming online and how you went about that's super powerful because you came online and you used the training for whatever it is that you were already doing. You're like, hey, I'm gonna get trained from the best. I'm gonna figure this out. Then also, I thought the other thing that was interesting is you all then kind of looked around and you were like, dang, people actually need this. So for you, you sort of I like your strategy of how you purchase training that's relevant to solving a problem for you right now. But then also you're always sort of looking like down, you're looking down the road a little bit, like, okay, this is what's going to be valuable for people. What do I see as valuable for people right now, people around me? And you start to connect people to the right things.
Uh-huh.
And as I think, as uh, more and more, I am trying to instill in affiliate referral based marketers, people who come into our community, to be less a one trick pony and to be more of a matchmaker, a facilitator. Sort of you can have all of these different offers on the table. You can have sort of an ecosystem of offers. Sure, you can have a core offer that you send most people to,
Right.
but you can also, the people who become really skilled and stick around for a long time are people who can sort of have the common sense and the strategy to listen to people and guide them down, correct paths based on what they actually need, which leads to higher conversions, which leads to higher lifetime values. Because if I'm just, slamming everybody into one funnel, which by the way, you can do, but if you can keep people in um, sort of a ecosystem that's branded to you,
Uh-huh.
and then get people maybe to email back to you, hey, how can I help you, what have you been struggling with? Well, I'm struggling with lead generation. Well, great. You know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to send you a training on high ticket closing, because that's not what you need.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you a course. Here's a $1 course on how to get started on TikTok, start generating free leads right away. And then when this person purchases your course that you recommend and you make a little commission, and that company starts to offer higher ticket products and education that give more value, they're going to feel not like they got scammed or played by you. They're going to feel like, dang, you know what? Mike sent me to the right place. I got what I needed when I listened to Mike and took his advice. Um, hmm, Maybe I'll take him up on this offer too, because he was right the first time, right? And it's
Yep.
it's it's a more of a common sense thing. If we were all sitting in a room together, this would make so much sense. But there's a piece of this that's online that sort of convolutes things and people get confused by it. But it's just like, imagine just being in a room and asking somebody, "What do you need help with?" and sort of solving that problem for people. I just wanted to say, I feel like your strategy around that is common sense, but also common sense isn't all that common. You know what I mean?
Like, that's true. That's true.
Um,
I all the
it's
time.
super smart.
I battle with that. I battle with that with a lot of people. And it's just simple. I'm not the one. I'm not creating a course myself to do anything. I think a lot of people online are very accustomed to that. They're accustomed to the high ticket courses. Everyone has a course on some particular subject, and I'm just like, look, I just practice what I learned, and I'm just taking you to the source. This is where I learned it at. At the
Mm,
end of the day, you can pay the dollar for the TikTok course, the $7 for the training itself, and then you'll be able to learn the skills that I have learned and that I am, putting to practice. And that's all I can actually do.
yeah.
And so I try to keep it really simple because I know people are already on edge when it comes to online. And so you have to be aware of that, and
Mm,
so just keep it really simple. And you don't have to be the person that knows everything. You're like, listen, I learned these skills from Legendary. Here's the link. Go to it. This is how I learned it. I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm not making any promises. I'm just going to take you to the source. And what you do with it is on you. And what's great is when they do sign up, sometimes they're not ready at that moment, but they can always loop back around the legendary because you guys don't put any weird paywalls or anything weird like that. Like you can, if you sign up today and life happens and 6 to 8 months from now, you decide, all right, let me come back in here. You come log right back in the legendary and pick up where you left off at. And
Yep.
that's, I mean, I try to keep things as simple as possible in my business when trying to, refer people to the source. And it's all
Mm.
about learning skill sets because things are changing so rapidly. Online, offline, you don't know how the world is going to look wherever it is that you're at this time next year. So you don't know what opportunities would be around or won't be around anymore. But if you learn these skill sets, I mean, the world, what they said, the world is your oyster. Like it's yours, man. And so and that's what I try to do for my business, and I try to relay that to other people as well. Just learn the skill sets, and you
Oh,
can take those skills and apply it to anything that you are passionate about making money around. I
man.
mean, that's just what it is. So
What else?
yeah,
That's it. I
yeah,
mean,
but yeah, and so,
yeah.
but business has been good after I focused on, referring more people in the legendary. And I started doing it. I started taking TikTok a little more seriously. It was hard to, it was hard at first. It was hard at first because all I used to see was just kids on there dancing. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this. But but I took the training and I was like, all right, I see
Makes
the
sense.
opportunity, and that's what I've been doing. And
Yeah.
so while it's still fresh on my mind, because I do go through the group as well, and I see a lot of people
Mm.
that are always struggling to, get their first 1,000 followers on TikTok so they can, put their URL in their bio.
Yep.
Um, I was there too. Like I started off TikTok just, casually. I had 100 and something followers. And then when I took it serious, maybe like 2.5, 3 months ago, I grew it over to now a little over 4,000 followers right now. And that's just, maybe throwing up a few videos a week. But the best thing that I found that helped me, and I did this purposely now, I went ahead and I I looked up through the whole filtering system of narrowing down your niche. I
Yep.
found I found videos of similar accounts that are digital marketers, affiliate marketers, things like that. Find the videos that go viral,
Mm.
and I specifically found the ones that were viral maybe 3 days ago. That they posted it 3 days ago and it went viral. And I sat there and I said, okay, I took notes on how they put the video, what the video was about. I vetted it, because sometimes these videos are tutorials and
Yep.
people would like to paste tutorials up there, but they don't know what they're talking about. You don't know if it's legit. So you vet the tutorial first to make sure, all right, okay, I can see this works.
Yep.
And I add my own flair and I redo the video myself, and I use the
Mm.
same hashtags. If they're using music, use the same song. And I've done that 2 times. And my follower count went skyrocketed,
Imagine
in a short
that.
amount of time. And it's really just research, and you have to do everything with intention, not just by chance.
Yep.
Like literally, I mean, TikTok is always changing. Algorithms are always changing. Things are going to get a little bit more difficult, but you just have some intention and you research other people in your market and what's working for them and what they're doing. And as long as you're sitting there providing value on the platform and not just throwing out make money online, you
True.
know, because that's starting to people are starting to get mute to that. They're getting blind to it because it's all over the place.
Right.
So you just study what other people are doing, and if you see that they have a successful video, you see why they have it, and then you figure out how to present the same information yourself the same way, but adding your own personality, your own flair to it. And just, copy the hashtags. I mean, they're hashtags, and copy the music and post it. and see what happens.
Yep.
You know, you might get some followers from that. It's usually just simple tweaks out there, and I found that, you know, and TikTok has helped me to bring more of my personality out, and
Cool.
it's reflected in my YouTube videos as well, because
Yeah.
that's what it's good. TikTok is very good camera practice.
Heck
And
yeah,
so
it is.
there are people who see the red light come on their screen or whatever, and
Yep.
they lock up, they freeze. Use TikTok, have fun with it, but be very intentional with what you're posting and why you're posting it,
Yep.
and use it to practice on bringing out your business personality, who
Yep.
you are, because at the end of the day, that's what people are following. They relate to you. You know, whether it is your appearance, sometimes it's that, sometimes it is your actual personality, you
Yep.
know, and how you present information, and always test, because that's what I started doing. I started testing. You know, I love editing videos and doing different things. So I find fun in doing that. So I started testing out different things. And you know, it's been working out for me, and it's helped me to grow better in front of the camera and present my material out better as well. So it's multi-purpose. So, you know, it's been working for me, and don't be afraid. Just go out there and always try out new things, always test different stuff out. Get you a better camera if you can. You know, I know you can use the cell phone, but you know, TikTok has been around for a while. So you always want to look for the edge, something that can make you stand out just a little bit more. And you know, that's what I did. So I just wanted to put that out there before I forgot it.
No, dude, that's real. Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like man, I feel like um the TikTok piece where you were talking about, you know, finding different videos, going through that research, it's I tell people all the and look, I tell this all the time. And you know what? I made a training last year about this. Late last year, and I got a bunch of shit for it. And people were like, "Oh man, like teaching people how to make clickbait videos and teaching people how to like copy other people's videos." And I was like, "Hey, look, here's the deal. You want to know how many videos are on TikTok? You want to know how many video ideas are actually like fully somebody's own like thought? Like barely any.
Barely.
There's this old saying that there's nothing new under the sun. It's an old, like, I think it's an old, like, biblical proverb or something, but it's basically like there's nothing new under the sun. And on TikTok, the thing that people forget is that like this platform is one of the main things it was built on is actually like copying people's ideas or playing off of people's ideas. Like that's actually built into the platform. Like
Yeah.
it's a thing where people do the same dances, right? When somebody does the same dance to the same song and like it's the exact same thing, no one's like, wow, what a copycat. It's like everybody's kind of doing their thing, right? And
Yep.
it's just funny how like people in certain niches or industries with ideas or just funny videos or how-to videos that you're talking about. I talk about this every week on Thursdays. We do this business blueprint webinar with our business blueprint members every single Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And I get on there and I say, damn it, create edutainment, educational, entertaining videos that teach people how to do something, right? Here's the number one way to get your dog to stop barking at the mailman. Step 1, step 2, step 3, like and follow for more. And then you do these kind of growth videos. I call them growth videos, or I stole that term from Andrea, who spoke at our most recent mastermind, but it's a growth video. And in these growth style videos, the whole point is you're trying to grow your audience. And my guess is you've got a couple videos on your TikTok that have got over 100,000 views. a lot of your thousands of followers have come after those videos because people
Yeah.
enjoy watching little tidbits. And people are like, well, that doesn't even have anything to do with what you're selling. That doesn't make sense. Why would you post videos about things or strategies or things that you're not even selling? Because the point is you're creating content that is just, you understand the beginner. The beginner isn't all concerned with every single detail. Somebody's sitting at home and they're a nurse and they've been working as a nurse for 15 years and they come across your video. All you're trying to do is open their mind to maybe the option that there's a way to make money
Yes.
online. That's it. That's the only thing. And in those how-to style videos, you give them one little piece that they're like, oh shit, I think I could make some money online. This is crazy. All right. You know what? I'm not ready to sign up today, but this Mike guy, I kind of like that. I'm going to follow this guy. We'll see if he comes back up. And 2 weeks later, you post something about your journey or something more personal. And then they're like, this guy again? Like, I forgot about this guy, but maybe I should check this guy out. Right. Or maybe it's on the 8th video of yours that they see. And then
Mm-hmm.
they hit your link and then they opt in and they disappear for, a couple weeks. And you keep following up with them on the email. And then you're on TikTok again. It's like, damn, I can't get rid of this Mike guy. All right, I'm going to try this out and I'm going to purchase from him. Right.
Yep.
And it all started with this little video that it only talked about one little whatever strategy of a little side hustle or a little whatever. And you can do this in any niche. Dog training. You'll grab people's attention by just teaching them one trick. You don't have to turn them into a perfect dog in one video. Just one little behavior, right? Stop resource guarding. Here's the best way to stop dogs from resource guarding. Or here's the number one way to get your dog to stop barking when the doorbell goes off. Right. And these little tricks, people are like, dang, that was cool. And I learned something in 30 seconds that I didn't know. I'm going to follow this person because I liked that. And this has been going viral since these types of videos, since early 2020 and nonstop in our groups and in
Uh-huh.
TikTok and all of these different things. People have been saying, well, I think it might be over. I think it's not what it once was. And every single month I watch people posting edutainment, educational, entertaining videos that teach people how to do something. They go viral, they start making money. And it's never ended. It's so mind-boggling to me that it is pretty simple, but it ain't easy because better than anybody to get good at those kinds of videos. It took work.
It took work and it took organization.
Mm.
That's probably the number one, thing, the driving factor that has propelled me is, especially when it comes to TikTok.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
I had it can be time consuming to generate content for TikTok or for any platform. I this just one day I just decided, let me actually listen to what my wife tells me, because she's a super organized person,
Yeah.
and let me plan everything out.
Mm.
So I came across a software, free software called like Notion,
Mhm.
and I like it because you can customize it. It almost reminds me of like the old days of MySpace a bit. You can customize it, put some of your personality into it while organizing out anything and everything you could think of. And so that's what
Okay.
I did when it came to my content type of schedule. I have what I call a content hub, where I have my TikTok / reel section, my YouTube videos, and my blog posts. And I pick a day out the week where maybe for an hour or two, I am researching what it is that I actually want to post, what I want to work on. So I'm going through TikTok and I'm looking at all the different, the high moving videos, the different, getting ideas. Sometimes I'm moving outside of my niche into different niches because you get different ideas that you can apply. And I organize it out, maybe about a dozen videos for that week that I want to get done. And I go deep. I outline what is being said, how it's being said, And then I go ahead and note take, okay, how can I present it? Maybe I'll do it this type of angle, this type of style, whatever. Sometimes I'll gather around two or three different ways of presenting the same content so that you have more content that you can make. Maybe you can basically put the same video content message across by filming it three different ways, with your face, with you talking, maybe just, a video in the background and you're doing a voiceover, or maybe just text, just a way to have more content to push, to make the most out of one idea. Yep. But I will note take everything, and I have it scheduled out to whether I'm working on it or if it's published. I will put down inspiration. So I'll put down a URL of the TikTok person or whomever it is. If it's a YouTube channel, the video, I'll put down the link to it as inspiration so I can go back and refer to it. And really, when it comes down to it, it's not the sexiest part of your business, but man, it can move mountains if you just get hyper organized with what you're doing. And that's what I do. I do it with my TikTok, I do it with my YouTube content, and I do it with my blog posts. And then I just pick a time to go ahead and work on them. With TikTok, I like to batch out my videos. So I take maybe an hour and I batch them all out. I work on them, get them all filmed up. I do everything, or almost everything, on my Sony camera. So I don't do it on my cell phone. But I'll go ahead and record on there, and I'll upload it onto my computer, and it will be there ready. Do the iCloud thing, have it ready on my phone to post when I feel like posting it. But man, that I have saved so much time, and I have actually moved forward so much quicker just by organizing my content. And it's always the little things, it's always the things that aren't sexy that push your business forward.
Woo.
It's always, man. And I thank my wife all the time because when it comes to office desk business type stuff, I'm not the most organized. But I said, you know what? She's smarter than me. Let me go ahead and follow what she is saying. And I found something that worked for me. Okay. Because I'm not a Google Calendar, Asana type person.
No.
I use Notion and I use Trello.
Cool.
And that's what I do, and what I like for Trello, while it's on my mind, for you, those of you out there, document your process. I do this on Trello. I organize my process from A to Z when I'm starting something out. From beginning, I put it on there because it's sort of my SOP. It's my standard operating procedures. So if there's something I forget, something I'm not sure of, I have it documented from start to finish on how I did it. So I can go back. If something isn't working right, I'm not trying to rack my brain, figure out what's not working right. I go back and I see, where's the leak at? What do I need to fix? And is it step 3, step 4? What do I need to change and do different? Yep. Document the process. If you're just starting out, document what you're doing. Note take what's working and what's not working and why you changed it. So, and you just never know, because guess what? You might decide one day, oh, I'm going to make a course. Well, you got your course right there. you might not know, like right now, I don't have a passion to make a course, but if I wanted to, I have my process right there for everything. For everything. I because I didn't tell you, I have a watch business as well that I do as well. It's totally separate from this, but when you make money from one area,
man, you should have been on with Dave. We got to get you back on. We got to get you back on the show, man. You guys could launch a whole separate episode of this show just talking about watches.
So listen, when you get good at one thing, you start to make money off of one thing, you can always diversify your money. It's actually best to do that. So that's how I like to do things. I don't like to keep all my eggs in one basket. Once I do well in something, I take some of that profit and I put it into something else. And, my watch business is a passion project for me. So it's just like, I love watches. So that's just my thing. But you can always diversify your stuff. Once you get good at one thing, you do affiliate marketing, it works well for you. All right, let me go ahead and invest. Maybe I want to get into the crypto game. all right, well, you can start doing some stuff in that. Or maybe you want to start this new other venture. You can put money towards that, and you can build those things up as well. So you have multiple assets for you. And that's how I've always structured what I do. But
Mm.
organization is being key for me now. And I hit my head that it took so long for me to take my wife's advice. So, but
Yeah.
it's been working. It's been working, and I tell you, you do that, things will be so much easier. You'll feel a lot less stress, a
Yeah.
lot less pressure, and
And you
if
don't
you're
have to get
rewarded,
crazy about it. Yeah. You don't have to get crazy about it. You just start a little spreadsheet. I used to share a little spreadsheet with people that was just like, you know, exactly what you just said, topic, and then I would have a bunch of stuff in the whatever, dog training or stop biting or whatever. And then, you could do it in the make money online space where it's like, inspiration,
Mhm.
wealth building, crypto, like all of that stuff, right? Advertising, marketing, and you start to just like grab TikTok links and paste them into a little spreadsheet. And I actually ranked them by how many views they got. And I wouldn't do it for every video, but man, that strategy every 5 to 10 videos or something is yeah, you'll start growing that channel, man. You'll start growing that channel. You also want to create some unique content that's unique to you. But especially as you're just getting started, viewing yourself as more of a reporter and
Mhm.
less of an expert is such a freeing way to look at your journey and look at content creation. There's people who, I can't remember what her TikTok handle is, but there's a lady on TikTok who does news. Tell me if you've seen this person. Does news from under the desk. Have you heard about this person?
No.
So they just crawl under their desk, and their angle on their video is like you can see the bottom of the desk, and it's like they crawled under their desk, and they're like a news reporter. And this person's gone like super viral. I can't remember who it is or what their handle is exactly. I guarantee somebody in the comments is going to tell me what their handle is. And I just got a message. Yeah. The LA Times hired this girl. Joanne just messaged me and said, I've totally seen this person. But Susan says, I know her. Yeah, she's fantastic. Yeah. See, everybody knows who this person is. I can't remember her handle, but under the desk news. There we go. Misty just gave it to us. Under the desk news. She just started as like a kind of like a, well, let's try this out and see what happens. And all she does is she reports basically on like what's happening in the world, and people kind of like getting the news from her as opposed to like their cable news network, right? And it's really a sign of like where our world is going. But it doesn't claim to be the world's foremost expert. Mostly is just like, hey, let me condense some world news while you're scrolling. Like, let me condense some world news headlines for you in about a minute or 3 minutes or something, and you don't have to turn on CNN tonight. How's that sound? Cool. All right.
The
Cool.
power of creativity.
And it's just, yeah. And think about
All
the
it is, man.
genius of that is literally there's never a moment where you won't have a headline. There's never a day where you're not going to have content, right? It's a genius idea, but the same is true of most niches. If you go into any content platform, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, wherever, there's from 10 years back until right now, whether it's on a blog or on a video or whatever, there's always content about how to train your dog. Always.
Yep.
In the Decade in a Day, I showed this guy's video from like 2012. It's Zach, something dog training, Zach's dog training or something like that. And lots of people on the Decade in a Day are like, yeah, I follow that guy. I know that guy. He's super cool. And this is from 2012. He's on YouTube, and his video is still ranking for like dog training, just that keyword. But there's training that goes all the way back. People have been creating content, and you can come on as a reporter. Let me finish this idea. You can come on as a reporter, and you don't have to be the world's foremost expert. You can give little tips about dog training. You can give little tips about wealth. You can give little tips about crypto that are just like, common, or common sense, or big sort of universal truths in that space. Like crypto has a lot of like basic facts about crypto that you could just report on, that are like, hey, here's the three most important things to know if you're thinking about investing in crypto. And it's like, sure, it's subjective. It's like, but this is what you think, right? Or what's the most important thing to you? If you just got into crypto, you can probably look back and say, what are the things that I looked at to decide how to get into crypto? What were the things that were most important to me, right? And then boom, you've got a piece of content immediately. And you can also, like you did, do research. What are other people saying is most important? What do I think about that? Well, maybe I don't like that one piece. People and so many people who are getting started. That's why I love this conversation. I love the way that you think about this, because so many people come into this and think, I've got to have like 3 unique ideas today that I just come up with out of thin air all by myself. And they're like, that's too overwhelming. I can't do that. I don't know where do I even start?
I
And
start. I started off that way as well. I
yeah.
get you. It's like imposter syndrome, and so
Mm.
it's when you're presenting your content out. All you need to do is to switch it this way. Is you're just reminding people of what's what. How to do
Mm.
this, how to do that.
Ooh.
Don't act like you are the expert of it. Just say you're reminding, because if you think about it, you scroll through TikTok or YouTube, whatever, and you see all sort of different things, and you're constantly reminded over stuff. It's like you've heard it before, but it wasn't present. It was back there, and all that video did was pull it back to the front. And you're like,
Mm.
oh man, that's it. Because that's how it is with me too. I look at other marketers as well, and it might be basic information, but it wasn't fresh on my mind. And
Yep.
so it's almost like as I relearned it again, and
Oh.
because they reminded me of it. And so and that's the approach I take to when I'm making my videos. That's the mindset I have to make me feel more comfortable with what I'm doing. Is I'm not teaching you anything new. I'm not pulling something out from the universe and showing it to you for the first time. I'm just reminding you of it. That's all it is. I'm
Oh.
reminding my audience of this, that, and that. That's it. And I
Wow.
feel so much better. There's a weight is taken off. I don't feel like a fraud or an imposter, or I'm trying to imitate this person. No, there's so much going on. People need to be reminded of things all the time, and that's just what your job is when you're putting your content out. Just reminding them.
Mm. Dude, we're just gonna end on that note. That was awesome. That was a great way to say it too. It's a great way to say it in a way that makes sense. So, Mike, thanks for coming on, man. We hit over an hour. Thanks for coming on and
It's been
dropping
fun.
all these
Thank you,
gold
Matt.
bars. This episode is a rewatch. If people didn't get through this, this should be paid content. But it's not. It's free. That's what we do. And Mike,
My
I'll put up.
legendary.
You prefer people to go find you on TikTok?
You can find me on TikTok. Basically all of my handles are my name, Mike Garvey Jr. or Brand the Boss, which is like my, more of my business handle.
Cool.
So if you
Let's throw
find
it.
one, you'll find the rest of them.
Yep. Perfect. All right, Mike, thanks for coming on. We'd love to have you back on. If you want to check in, send us an email in a couple weeks or a couple months, and we'd love to have you back on. We'll put you on with Dave so that you guys can chat a little bit about watches. Make sure to bring your best stuff, and
Oh, I
we'll
got
tell
you.
Dave to bring his best stuff too.
Got you. Okay, I got you. I got good taste.
All right. All right. See you,
Matt,
Mike.
thank you so
Good
much.
meeting
Take
you.
care.
See
Bye.
ya. All right, guys. Mike Garvey Jr. That, if you're listening, it's spelled MikeGarveyJr. Jr. You can also find him at Brand the Boss. So if you go to YouTube, type in Brand the Boss, you're going to find him right away. Give him a follow. Let him know you found him on Wake Up Legendary. And then, someday when you're on Wake Up Legendary, he'll return the favor and give you a follow, and it'll all come back around. What do we call that? Business karma. So go give him a follow his content, go look into what he's doing, figure out how he's creating this content. We're going to be back here again tomorrow, same time, same place. We're always here, 10 a.m. Eastern. If you're not already signed up for our text message reminders, open your phone right now, make a commitment to show up to these every single day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Even if you're, I grew up in the Midwest, so even if you're out on the tractor or the combine or something, or if you're in the warehouse and you're on the forklift, well, don't do anything dangerous. But I don't know why I immediately went to operating heavy machinery. But if you're packing boxes in the warehouse, sitting at your computer in the office, just turn it on, put it in your ear. It's so much more refreshing and inspiring than the average sort of bullshit that we go through and listen to throughout our day. That's just this nonstop routine of, just I don't even know, monotony. Text WUL, the letters, to 813-296-8553. You'll get a text message reminder from us every single Monday through Friday. We don't send you a bunch of text messages like Mike and I were talking earlier. You're not going to get a bunch of phone calls like, hey, we got this awesome $10,000. We've never called anybody as a result of this text message. We don't call you. We actually can't. It's just a text message service. And you're not going to get text messages with a bunch of pitches and offers. We've never sent a pitch via text message because of this. So you're not opting into any marketing, no offers, nothing. We just want to get you on this show because this show, hearing these stories, will change your life. That's it. That's our agenda. How's that? All right. 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. Be there. Don't delay. Be on time. See you there.